The house in Clifton always smelled like rain and lavender on Saturday afternoons, especially when Mum had been out at the garden centre. Jane knew that scent like a warning bell. It meant she was home early, and Jane was still in her room, or at least, she should have been. Instead, she was tiptoeing barefoot down the hallway, her oversized white t-shirt brushing her hips, wide-leg jeans whispering with every step. In her hand, a tall glass of pomegranate juice, deep rhubarb red, condensation already beading on the sides. She'd chugged half of it while doom-scrolling TikTok on her bed, but the charger she really needed, the one that still worked, was in Mum's room. The one room with the strict, unspoken rule: knock. Ask. Wait. But Jane was 20. And tired. And convinced rules bent a little for people who paid rent, even if it was just £50 a month and a promise to help with groceries. She nudged the door open with her hip. Sunlight pooled across the new ivory carpet like liquid gold. Mum had spent weeks choosing it, stain-resistant, plush, a lifetime investment, she'd said, running her hand over the pile like it was silk. Jane had rolled her eyes. It's carpet, not a diamond. She stepped in. The carpet sank under her toes, soft as a sigh. The charger was on the nightstand. She reached, glass still in hand, and her elbow caught the edge of the vanity. A tiny clink. Then, crash. The glass shattered. Juice exploded, not in a splash, but in a violent, spreading bloom across the cream fibers. A long, jagged streak, vivid as arterial blood, snaked from the nightstand toward the door. Shards glittered in the sun like tiny warning signs. Jane froze. Her first thought wasn't "oh no." It was "shit. She'll kill me." Panic, cold and electric, shot up her spine. She dropped to her knees, grabbing tissues from the box on the dresser. Pressed. Blotted. Rubbed. The red only spread, soaking deeper, turning the ivory into a sickly pink bruise. She shoved the glass shards into the small bin under the vanity, heart hammering against her ribs. Then, stupid, so stupid, she backed out, leaving a faint, sticky trail on the hallway floorboards. She was 3 steps down the hall when the front door clicked open. Mum's voice, light and cheerful. "Jane, I got the lavender you liked." Then silence. A pause. A sniff. Jane turned slowly. Mum stood just inside the hallway, canvas tote bag in one hand, the scent of damp earth and rosemary clinging to her sage-green sweater. Her eyes weren't on the bag. They were on the floor, following the glistening trail to the half-open bedroom door. Her expression didn't change. Not at first. But her shoulders straightened. The cheerful light in her eyes dimmed, replaced by something colder. Sharper. She walked past Jane without a word and pushed the bedroom door fully open. Jane followed. Because what else could she do? Mum stood in the doorway, arms loose at her sides, staring at the stain. It looked worse now, in the full light, a violent slash across the purity of the room. She didn't sigh. Didn't shout. Just turned, slowly, and looked at Jane. "Look at me." Jane lifted her chin, defiant. "It was an accident. I'll clean it." "There's this cleaner, Jane." The name wasn't loud, but it cut through her like a blade. "This carpet cost more than your laptop." A beat. Her voice dropped, low and steady. "And you walked into my room knowing it was off limits, carrying a full glass of stain-prone juice. That's not an accident." She took a step forward. "That's arrogance." The word landed like a physical blow. Jane opened her mouth, another excuse forming, but Mum held up a hand. "No more words." She walked to the bed and sat down, back straight, hands resting on her thighs. The lavender plants in the tote bag beside her seemed absurdly peaceful. "Come here." A pause. "Over my lap." Jane's breath hitched. No. Her cheeks burned. She was 20. It wasn't done. Not here. Not now. Mum, please, now, Jane. The command brooked no argument. Jane's legs moved before her mind could catch up. She approached the bed, fingers twisting the hem of her white t-shirt. She bent forward, bracing her hands on the mattress, then lowered herself slowly, achingly, across Mum's lap. The denim of her wide-leg jeans stretched tight over her thighs. Her white tee rode up just enough to expose the pale strip of skin above her waistband. She tucked her face into the crook of her elbow, eyes squeezed shut. The first swat landed with a soft, heavy thud, not on bare skin, but through the thick denim. Firm. Controlled. Unmistakable. This, Mum said, voice calm but edged with steel, is for thinking the rules don't apply to you. Thud. This is for lying with your silence, hiding the glass, pretending it didn't happen. Jane flinched. A whimper escaped her lips. She bit down hard. Thud. And this, a harder stroke, making her gasp, this is for forgetting whose home you're blessed to live in. For forgetting that love isn't permission to be careless with what matters to others. The rhythm continued. Steady. Purposeful. Not cruel, but inescapable. Each spank vibrated through her, a physical punctuation to the words hanging in the air. Her initial outrage melted into shaky breaths, then into quiet, shuddering sobs. Tears dripped onto the duvet cover. Her pride, so fiercely guarded at 20, cracked and spilled out with them. It didn't last long. Maybe 2 minutes. But time stretched, elastic and raw. When it stopped, Mum's hand stayed resting gently on the small of Jane's back, a warm, grounding weight. Sit up. Jane pushed herself upright, wiping her face with the back of her wrist. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her nose running. She wouldn't look at her mum. Mum handed her a tissue from the nightstand. Do you understand why this mattered? Her voice wasn't angry now. Just tired. Deeply tired. Jane nodded, sniffling. Then, softly, yes. She swallowed. It wasn't just the carpet. A pause. The hardest words yet. It was, you trusting me. And me throwing it away 'cause I thought I was too old to care. Mum exhaled a long, slow release. She reached out and tucked a stray strand of hair behind Jane's ear. Her thumb brushed Jane's damp cheek. Good. That's the first honest thing you've said today. No grand forgiveness. No hugs. Just recognition. Go wash your face, Mum said gently. Then come back. We'll deal with the stain. An hour later, Jane was on her hands and knees in the bedroom, the special carpet cleaner foaming under her scrub brush. Mum sat in the armchair by the window, reading, but her gaze kept drifting to Jane's bowed head, the way her white t-shirt stretched across her shoulders, the determined set of her jaw even through the lingering sniffles. The stain had lightened. But a faint, stubborn pink shadow remained, a ghost of the moment. Jane paused, brush in hand, staring at it. Not with resentment anymore. With respect. For the carpet. For the room. For the woman who'd loved her enough to draw a line in the plush ivory pile and hold it. Later, she texted her best friend, Maya, got spanked today. Over juice. On Mum's new carpet. In Bristol. Sounds insane, right? But, weirdly, I needed it. Felt like she saw me. The real me, the lazy, entitled bit I keep hidden. And she didn't let it slide. Maya replied instantly, are you okay? Also. Send pics of the carpet. For science. Jane. Smiled, a real one, small and tired. That night, She folded her white t-shirt, now faintly smelling of carpet cleaner and her own salt tears, and placed it carefully in the laundry basket. A small ritual. A surrender. Sunday morning dawned soft and grey, the Bristol mist clinging to the rooftops. Jane was in the kitchen before Mum woke. She boiled the kettle, warmed the ceramic mugs, poured 2 cups of Earl Grey, no juice in sight. She added milk just how Mum liked it, a splash, not a flood. She placed Mum's mug on the kitchen table, beside a folded note written in her neatest script, "Thank you for caring enough to correct me. I'll pay for half the carpet cleaning. And I'll knock next time. Love, Jay." She went to leave, but paused. On the counter sat the lavender plants, still in their plastic nursery pots. Mum hadn't had time to pot them. Jane found a spare terracotta pot under the sink. Filled it with compost. Gently teased the lavender roots, settled it in. Watered it just enough. Then she carried it down the hall and placed it on the windowsill of her own room where the morning light would hit it first. When Mum came in, robe tied, she saw the note. She read it slowly. Then she walked to Jane's room, where Jane was adjusting the plant's leaves. Mum didn't say anything. Just reached into her pocket and placed a small folded slip of paper beside the lavender pot. Jane picked it up. Discipline isn't the opposite of love. It's love with skin in the game. Jane traced the words with her thumb. Outside, a blackbird sang in the wet garden. The carpet stain was still there, faint, but visible if you looked close. And for the first time in a long time, Jane didn't mind. She saw it. And that made all the difference.